Good morning, everyone. It's Friday, May 13th, 2022. I thought it was a great day to do a recording. I want to talk today about the middle row of the tarot cards from number 8, Strength, Hermit, Wheel of Fortune, Justice, Hanged Man, Death, and Temperance, with an emphasis on the Wheel of Fortune, Justice, and the Hanged Man, because these three cards represent the middle of the Major Arcana. So why am I doing a video? Because I was walking this morning and this came to me. You might want to have those 7 cards in front of you as we go along. We're going to briefly talk about Strength and the Hermit card because we've talked about them before. Strength is the courage to overcome the fears that we encounter when we hop in that chariot and we're ready to take off. The Hermit card asks us to pause, take a look inward, maybe reach up and ask the High Priestess for guidance, and maybe even take a look at the tower below the Hermit's feet to say, I'm ready to let go, but man, it's not easy. And then we reach the Wheel card. And you know, it would be really easy to think of the Wheel as a card that simply means travel, new tires or a new vehicle, and change. Is it good luck or is it bad luck? Who knows? The wheel changes. But really, when we get to the point of our own personal development and we encounter the wheel, we're at a pivot point. We are ready to take a look at where we fit in the world, in the cosmos, in the universe, and in ourselves. So I'd like you to sit down, stand up, do whatever you like. Take your wheel card if you would like to. Go outside on a walk, since that's where this came from this morning. But with the wheel card in mind, imagine yourself as the hub of the wheel. You're right there in the center of your being, of your family, of your community, of your town, city, country, continent, and on we go. And then my hands keep making a bigger and bigger circle. Imagine yourself realizing how big the cosmos is and that you're just a little dot. And instead of feeling like a little dot, think about how much energy comes to you from all of those places, people, things, stars, cosmos. The energy passes through you and on to someone else. You are part of something far more magnificent than we could ever envision when we started out on our journey as the Fool. And here you are at the center, you looking out and realizing that you are receiving also immense energy from everywhere that you can't even imagine. Cosmos sends you energy. The star and the moon send you energy. The seasons send you energy. And you start to realize how not only your life, but the energy of the cosmos is a cycle. And as you start to look at how everything has a cycle and where you fit in that, you start to realize that the greatest cycle of them all is birth, death, and rebirth. And here in the wheel card, we see everything in a very symbolic way of our own self, all the way out to beyond our imagination. But at the core is the beginning of the realization that we also influence those beyond our body. And every decision we make has an influence somewhere, somehow, on someone or something. And as we come to terms with the idea of birth, death, and rebirth, and as I walk this spring and see little flowers shriveling up to hide out for almost a year before we see them again, we realize that this pull is within us all. And you are at the hub of the wheel, ready to answer the call, to understand that you are part of the cosmos, part of your community, you. And what does that mean now? That might be a little different than the experiences and the lessons you learned in the very first row. They say this is the time of the ego um, dying, which means some of the things that we believed are no longer pertinent. They no longer matter. And so the wheel asks us to pay attention to the cycles, what is real to us, what feels real to us. And we step forward then to the Justice card. Above the Justice card is the Emperor, all right? And the Emperor is really the laws of the land. The Justice card in many readings now has become the legal laws of the land. Oh, you've got a court case coming up. But really, this is psyche, the balance of the psyche. How have my actions influenced others and myself? What do I need to do in myself, not outward now, in myself, to atone and attune myself to what I want to do now? And I think the whole world is having this huge battle right now, and many of us personally, looking at things that were the norm and accepted, the suppression of people and cultures and languages, and on it goes. And the fight is bigger now than ever. We're being called in justice to say what is right for us and what fight will I embark upon now that feels like it's in balance with who I am, with what the high priestess has whispered in my ear, and the action that the magician has given me. Below this card, below justice, I think it's the moon card. Yes, there's doubt. Yes, there's fear. But we are only going to grow and become who we are if we listen to what brings us balance and decide what to do, which brings us to the Hangman, which oddly enough is a card of action, even though it looks like the epitome of inaction. And there Hangman hangs upside down. Literally, our world may be turned upside down. Literally, we may be finally ready to look at different viewpoints, different ideas, gather more information from all that is available to us and shown to us in the wheel. And this is where we start to actually take action to move forward. This is card 12, card 1, and card 2, the magician and the high priestess. The legs crossed are the emperor, card 4. And it is the flip of the world card, where we're headed. We're not dancing card 21, card 12, the flip of each other. And they add up to 3. All right. So we're looking at the influences of card 1, 2, 3, and 4 here in the Hangman. But we're also getting a little whisper of what it's like to dance on top of the world and feel whole. So much going on with these cards that are more than just hanging around or looking at something differently. This is soul work. This is the personality coming through as the real you. Some of those lessons we learned kept us safe and allowed us to function. And now we may be asking, who do we want to hang around with? Some people may not feel comfortable to hang around with. Some of our old beliefs may embarrass us. And this is where justice comes in. We attune and atone for our actions and decide what right action can we take going forward. Then we encounter death. And they say this is the death of the ego, which for many years I really struggled with this. This is the death of the old beliefs that no longer serve us and indeed harm our world, our society, Mother Earth, the skies, all of the rest. This is the death of old practices that we may have taken part in because that's what we were taught. And now this is the saying, now that you know better, do better. This is a row of evolution and evolving. And I don't think it ever changes because even when we get to that world card, we turn around and we start over to learn more and grow more. So after we let go and we realize certain things are not what we want to do or believe, then we have to figure out how to go forward. And this is where temperance reminds us that we can mix a little bit of this with a little bit of that. She pours water from one cup to the next at an angle that's impossible. So we take what we like, what we know to be true, where we want to go, and we start to create a new way of being. Yes, it takes great courage, but there's peace and temperance that we didn't see in the Chariot card, which is above temperance. So I started off by saying, step into the wheel card. Step in there being the hub. And after you realize that you're part of the bigger picture, allow yourself then to be who you are now, today, and ask justice to help you cut away what no longer serves you, to communicate in a way that's authentic, and to find the balance of your psyche and your ego and what you want to put forth into the world today. So my final comment here is, what is it that you're leaving behind? What is it that you're stepping forward to? And how are you going to mix what's left with what's to be when you reach temperance? We'll talk to you in class. They're coming up soon. Take care. Bye-bye.